It hurts so much I was actually forced into this state. Deidara's face was contorted in pain. His whole body was trembling. Put your hand into the bag of clay ring tool at your waist, hoping to squeeze a big clay bird out, carrying yourself to fly to the sky. Maybe the new hand just put in, outside the soccer field on the street, already rang out a series of footsteps. Right in this direction, getting closer. Hoo-hoo! An orange figure continuously dodged and jumped, and in less than a moment, reached the outskirts of the soccer field. That guy. How did he turn into this? Looking at Naruto's entire body skin burned to the point of resembling Kurenai, Deidara was slightly surprised. Looks like creating flying birds is too late. Can only create a few centipedes with short lifespan. First stop Naruto and say. Wondering, Deidara waved his hands forward. The two mini centipedes exploded into mist, each turning into a meter long. The centipede moved with countless touches, twisting its body at an extremely fast speed, climbing towards Naruto. Deidara, you don't have a chance to run today. I won't let you go. Naruto was panting nonstop. His body was filled with a feeling of weakness, causing his vision to turn black. But facing Deidara, who was already in a desperate situation, Naruto did not have any confusion. At this moment, the two peacocks were moving at an extremely fast speed, already less than 4 meters in front of Naruto. Turning his hand from behind the ninja tools bag, he took out 2 kunai. The palm of his hand, lightning light flickered. On the kunai attached a layer of lightning release chakra wrapped around. Collect. As Naruto waved his hand while mobilizing, 2 kunai were thrown out, sticking to the 2 corn peacocks' backs. Screech! Almost at the same time, Deidara shouted softly. But he was still one step behind kunai and his hand seal. A faint layer of lightning spread across the centipede's body, and the 2 centipedes immediately stopped moving, as if they were dead. Unable to climb forward, lightning release suppresses earth release, causing all the lightning on the centipede's body to be paralyzed. And the clay that exploded and mixed with the chakra would be chased away. Let hit the internal grenade completely turn into mute. Disgusting. What a coincidence. How did this guy know that I was using explosive clay? Weak point. Deidara glared at Naruto, his eyes filled with unwillingness. I already knew your weakness. All the explosive hand seals you make, even though you intentionally hide them, are all earth release seals without exception. Although your hidden hand seal method is hidden, for the Sharingan with very strong observation, it can still be detected. Naruto curled his lips into a faint smile, continuing to walk towards Deidara's side, approaching the past. His body was extremely weak, so Naruto definitely did not run. Although because of looking through the original work, Naruto already knew that Deidara's explosions were all earth release. But Sharingan can clearly see through his hand seals. This is not fake at all. Sharingan? Those eyes again? Disgusting. Deidara stared intently at Naruto's pair of eyes. Kurenai's face filled with unwillingness. Every time is like this. Art itself has almost never had any failure experience. The first time was Itachi Uchiha, causing him to be hit by the Sharingan illusion technique, almost exploding to death under the centipede he had created. This time, too, was defeated by the same dojutsu ability holder. Seeing Naruto dragging that body covered in wounds, he still calmly walked towards him. It was as if those eyes were filled with no emotion at all. In his eyes, Art was just a toy for playing around. The more Naruto looked like this, the more Deidara became agitated. Finally, he really couldn't bear it anymore, and tore off his tattered black robe. Immediately put your hand to pull open the chest mouth and sew the curve. Flat. Chest mouth open wide. A fresh tip of Kurenai's tongue sprayed out. Quickly took the remaining hand to explode the clay. One stick stuffed into the wide mouth of the chest. The wide mouth creaked and began to swallow. Deidara's eyes also showed excitement. That's right. Next is my ultimate art. I will truly self-destruct. The explosion diameter is about 20 kilometers. So can you still be so confident and calm next time? Yes. The soccer field is very large. At this time, Naruto was about 30 meters away from Deidara. Looking at Deidara pulling off his black robe, revealing his chest and wide, open mouth, Naruto realized his intentions. Quickly stepped towards the other side and run. Just then, the pain from the Nine-Tails chakra burning him caused Naruto's speed to slow down a bit. Every time he took a step, his upper body felt numb with pain. Yes, it is this kind of fearful gaze. Deidara saw Naruto finally have such a nervous look. The uneasiness in his heart finally had a place to vent, Looking at Naruto's crazy expression, he roared. 20 kilometers in diameter. This is an unprecedented explosion. This piece of land will leave behind unprecedented scars, and my art will receive unprecedented praise. Because of this, you must die. Look where you're going. Ah, Kume, trembling, fearful admiration, desperate, cry out loud. My art is explosion. While speaking, Deidara's body appeared transparent. The body positions evenly turned into black lines, rapidly starting to converge towards that mouth's chest. Kodo Amatsukami. Ket represents Deidara, forming the Earth release seal, completing the grenade detonation. Before Deidara shouted squeak, Naruto's right eye's pearl pupil moved, activating a dojutsu ability that he had never used before. Honored as the strongest illusionist among all Kodo Amatsukami. Mr. A huge Sharingan phantom towards Deidara on the ship passed. Deidara only felt his soul shake, and his brain went blank for a moment. Kodo Amatsukami repairs other people's willpower to start. In Deidara's mind, all thoughts and memories remained unchanged. There is only one more important command. Forever loyal to Uzumaki Naruto. This order Deidara had no way to resist, not even any thought of resisting, unless someone can break the Kodo Amatsukami illusion. Deidara regained his consciousness. His black body quickly shrank back to its original position, once again transforming back to its original appearance. Chest mouth open, smacked, swallowed down the clay to explode, then spit it out again. Thump, thump. Two heavy objects fell to the ground with a loud sound. Deidara and Naruto both fell to the ground almost at the same time. Deidara was completely unconscious due to his chakra exhaustion, the pain from the many wounds on his body, and some after effects from Kodo Amatsukami. And Naruto was also the same because his body was already seriously injured. In addition, the body originally did not have much chakra left. And under the situation of using Kodo Amatsukami once, his physical strength was severely depleted, and he fell head first. Lord Naruto, we're here. Naruto-kun, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me. Naruto lay on the ground, eyes half open, vaguely hearing someone calling his name. Using the last bit of strength to push open the eyelids. The vision felt extremely blurry, still unable to see the surrounding situation clearly. Just in the middle of the flash, I seemed to see Hinata squatting in front of me, her pale face covered with tears. Is it Hinata? Naruto tried to open his mouth wide, but was so weak that he couldn't make a single sound. Eyes closed, completely unconscious of the past. Under the sunset sky, the path of purification after the battle had long been riddled with holes, filled with the ruins of collapsed buildings. On the central path, there were several dozen men wearing blue ninja vests, carrying special probes on their backs. In their hands they held a 2-meter-long stick. The pointed stick was close to the ground, swaying left and right without moving, using the pointed tip to emit electric light, probing the mud. Big brother, add some strength. The sky will soon turn dark. Before it gets dark, clean up all the landmines here. Karen stood on the roof of a tall building, waving her hand towards the ninja commander below and shouted. Earlier, a group of people were watching the battle on the top floor. Everyone was able to use their telescopes to see the situation where Deidara buried a landmine. Yes, Miss Karen. The group of ninjas were all very enthusiastic, shouting loudly in agreement, their hand movements speeding up, putting in even more effort. Who really didn't think one day our place would be made like this? Karen raised her eyes and sighed helplessly. Originally, these command tasks were not for her to take charge of. She also does intelligence collection, or helps Haku handle some government matters. But now, with the Akatsuki organization's 4-man invasion, the Land of Waves could be said to be caught off guard. First, Zabuza was killed. Then Haku and Sujetsu were injured and were still in the recovery stage. Giran was even more miserable, poisoned, and in a coma. His whole body's lips were purple. He woke up from pain many times during the day, and his condition was getting more and more serious. The only ones who were completely unharmed were Karen and Hinata. That's right. There's also one who took people out to buy special materials and supplies, and hasn't returned yet. Very quickly, the night darkened. A crescent moon appeared in the sky. On the street, landmines completely eliminated. Karen arranged for this group of ninja to strictly guard the main gate of Wave Country City, waiting for the next group of people to change shifts tomorrow morning. Under special circumstances, All the tycoons are hurt and abused, only by raising the safety level to the highest state. As the crowd gradually dispersed, the streets became deserted again. Only the cold night wind blew, carrying ashes and dust into the air, howling. Originally staying in this village street, had been arranged to take refuge, temporarily staying there. Some of the villagers' houses were destroyed, and it is also possible that somewhere there are still hidden dangers left by ground-based grenades. Everything still has to wait until tomorrow morning. The next group of ninja will come and carefully eliminate them again. Not far away in the woods, a man wearing a wide-brimmed villager's hat stuck his head out from behind a large tree. After confirming that there was no one on this square, he tiptoed out, jogged forward, and stopped beside a ruined building. That lord arranged for me to hide here. Now it seems I can make use of it. He furtively looked around, and after muttering something, he took out a scroll from his chest. Take the scroll and open it, place it squarely on the ground, and use both hands and fingers to form several groups of ninjutsu hand seals. Ninja technique to detect the seal technique. Understood. With that, he squatted down and struck the scroll on both sides with both palms. The central scroll shaft is specially black with French pattern, along with 6 or 7 black long strings. The long rope was as thick as a finger, as if it had transformed into a long snake, winding around and crawling on the ground, quickly moving towards the surroundings. In less than a moment, 6 or 7 black lines climbed to a place, and the other side of the line absorbed the blood stains on the mud, sucking the blood stains into the black lines, then quickly returning to the top of the scroll. Hey, first one done. Continue with the next one. Satisfied, he nodded and put the scroll in his arms, hid in the darkness, and continued to collect the blood stains. Tai Chi Guo. Some palace, a luxurious room inside. A white-pants Terumi, eyes dull, sat at the head of the bed, stunned. Her fair and delicate face had a trace of tears hanging on it, as if she had just cried loudly. Fuck Naruto. Smelly Naruto. I told you to leave tomorrow, but you still took those brats and sneaked away. Am I really that annoying? Am I really that impatient? Harumi said, one hand lifted up the bedside table and put in an orange sportswear, continuously beating it. It seems that this outfit is Naruto, and she is venting her anger on Naruto. Straight outside, a series of footsteps came from afar and approached. Harumi then hurriedly hid her clothes carefully behind her, using her sleeve to wipe her face that was left with tear stains. Your Highness, I just want to look at those rooms. Those 3 people's clothes and ceremonial rites are still in the room. A man wearing an official's armor entered the room and knelt down in front of Harumi, holding his head and speaking. Hearing this, Harumi's eyes immediately lit up with a hint of hope. Why is that possible? Did Naruto and the others go nearby to do something? Thinking of this, Harumi hurriedly instructed the official. You immediately send someone to the kingdom of Taiji for me to look for him. You must bring Naruto to me. If you can't find him, don't come back to see me. Ah, Princess, this immediately troubled. He is a ninja who appears and disappears like a ghost. He just left Tai Chi Kingdom. What should he do? This is for me to find. I myself have been crawling for many years to get to this position now. Could it be that in the future, there will be no chance to do wrong things at the princess's side, and he will be beaten back to his original form? Harumi naturally also saw that this official was in trouble, knowing that her words were a bit too much. She waved her hand impatiently and said, Okay, hurry up and go. Don't dawdle. I won't blame you if you can't find it. Yes, princess. The official's face now revealed a look of joy, and he quickly turned around and walked out of the room. Harumi continued to sit there in a daze for a long while, then picked up the orange sportswear behind her back, hugged it to her chest, and said to herself, Naruto, you better give me a reasonable explanation. Why did you leave without saying goodbye? Otherwise, if not, speaking. Her eyes were red and her eyes were moist. If not, how can we catch him? From beginning to end, he seemed to have never thought of expressing his feelings in any kind of way. Maybe he really doesn't like himself? Early in the morning, Naruto opened his eyes in a daze, feeling a painful swelling spread throughout his body. Just as he was about to reach out to look at his body's burned wounds, he found his hand surrounded by a gentle sensation. Tilting his head to the side to look back, he just discovered that Hinata was holding his hand tightly, already leaning against the bed in the past. Maybe it was because Naruto had just twitched his hand, and Hinata was worried about Naruto's injury. so she hadn't gotten used to sleeping. She immediately woke up and raised her head to look back at Naruto. Naruto-kun, you're awake. That's great. Seeing Naruto awake, Hinata's face revealed a relieved smile. Hinata, I'm fine, don't worry. Naruto tried to force a smile. Hinata shook her head, her eyes filled with worry as she said, You still say it's okay, but yesterday I saw you looking like you were burned all over, and it almost scared me to death, Naruto-kun. So what exactly happened? Naruto tightly held Hinata's hand and said, Don't worry, it's just using the Nine Tails chakra. This body can't adapt too much yet. Moreover, you are not unaware that no matter how serious the injury is, with my powerful recovery ability, it can automatically recover within a few days. Hinata took Naruto's hand and placed it in front of Naruto's eyes, shaking it. You said it was light and flexible. Look at yourself now. You're almost a mummy. You're almost a pair of eyes without bandages. Naruto tried to jerk his arm, but the pain that made his skin tear all over his body was almost gone. The reason is because the Uzumaki clan's bloodline is strong. The relationship has now basically returned to normal. But Hinata here is concerned will be confused, seeing Naruto in hand and heart worried fear. But being able to be cared for by her like this, Naruto felt warm in his heart, still very happy. Seeing Hinata's eyes slightly darkened, Naruto asked, Did you not rest well because of taking care of me? That's why you have dark circles under your eyes? Ah, really? Then am I deformed? Hinata hurriedly wiped her eyes, as if afraid that her unsightly side would leave a bad impression on Naruto after he saw it. Naruto naturally saw her thoughts and helplessly smiled. Don't worry. In my heart you will always be the most beautiful, not ugly at all. Hinata snorted softly, muttering to herself, I don't know if what you said is true or false. I really heard that you, because that Princess Harumi was beautiful, secretly brought Inari and the others along to carry out some escort mission, and ran away without even saying goodbye to me. Who told you that? I didn't become like that just because someone was beautiful. Naruto immediately felt wronged. At that time, I really didn't think that much. I just wanted to go out and play a bit. So I brought Inari and the other three to learn from his experience. But Naruto just thought about the matter of Harumi kissing him in the kingdom of Tai Chi. But he couldn't help but feel a little guilty in his heart. After saying the last words, the voice slightly lowered. Who else could it be that told me? Of course it was Girin and Karen. Tintin looked up and didn't see them, but looked down and saw them. Hinata replied with one sentence, not wanting to argue with Naruto. Harumi, that matter. She just mentioned it with her mouth full and let it pass like that. Suddenly, Hinata seemed to remember something. A look of weariness appeared on her face. That's right, Naruto-kun. Girin was poisoned, a very special and strange poison, and our ninja village has no way to treat her. Girin's condition has become more and more serious. I'm afraid you'll have to take her back to Konoha to find Tsunade-sama to save her. Girin is poisoned, Naruto muttered. In my head, I recalled the previous battle with the 4 people of the Akatsuki organization. Finally, he used Kodo Amatsukami to end Deidara. Thinking of this, Naruto suddenly sat up. But because of the injuries on his body that had not yet healed, he immediately gritted his teeth in pain. Oh, it hurts, it hurts? Naruto-kun, what's wrong with you? Why are you in such a hurry? Hinata was immediately confused. She panicked and reached out her hand, but quickly pulled it back. She didn't know how to help, afraid that she would accidentally touch Naruto's wound again. Naruto really remembered. At that time, Deidara seemed to fall into a coma with him. Deidara was actually hit by Kodo Amatsukami, and after being forced to change his will, he completely submitted to Naruto. If it was the Hidden Village Ninja group for revenge, they would have already executed Deidara. This time, Naruto Kodo Amatsukami. Isn't it just like that? Just use it up, a waste? Hinata raised her eyes and thought for a moment, then asked doubtfully, Deidara? Which one? Naruto was stunned. Only then did he recall that Hinata and the others did not recognize Deidara. Previously at the meeting, although there was some unclear talk about the Akatsuki organization situation, but specifically the staff introduced, Naruto also did not say too much detail. It was that blonde guy who passed out with me on the basketball court that day and broke his leg. Where is he? Naruto hurriedly added an explanation. So it was him. Hinata suddenly understood. As soon as these 2 characteristics were mentioned, she immediately knew who it was. He is in prison? How is he? Why are you so anxious about him? Naruto breathed a sigh of relief. It was good Deidara wasn't killed. In other words, Naruto Kodo Amatsukami did not waste it in vain. Deidara still has value to use. Naruto told Hinata in detail about using Kodo Amatsukami against Deidara. Covering the urgent situation at that time, Naruto was also forced to have no choice but to report all the details. Anyway, even if it was that slow at 0.1 second, Deidara would have probably already self-destructed. By then, the explosion radius would be 20 kilometers in diameter, which is no joke. Naruto was naturally able to use Hiraishin to escape. Really, where are Hinata and the others? And where are the villagers who haven't moved far from the village? They will all die in that explosion below. Hinata nodded thoughtfully. Ah, so it's like this, but... Seeing Hinata looking as if she wanted to say something but stopped, Naruto quickly asked, "How is it?" "Hinata, if you have something to say, just say it." "Yes." Hinata agreed. "Naruto-kun, I hear the meaning in your words. You want to put that Akatsuki organization's people into our Wave Country's camp in the future, right?" Naruto nodded. "That's right. Of course we have to let him follow us. But he has been captured by Kodo Amatsukami, and is now completely loyal to me." Hinata gently shook his head and said, "Naruto-kun, I know what you were thinking. Moreover, that Deidara's strength is indeed very strong. If he can really submit to us, that would naturally be a good thing." Hinata paused, organized his words, and continued, "Naruto-kun, it's just that you have never thought about it. Deidara is actually a member of the Akatsuki organization. How many bad things did he do in the Akatsuki organization before? How many countries did he form enmity with? Needless to say, just that one time when the Tsunegakure Jinchuriki was caught talking to him, wasn't it Deidara who did it? Moreover, our hidden village this time, there really were more than several hundred ninjas, all of whom died at the hands of these four guys who invaded our village. Do you think that if Deidara joins our village, the other ninjas can accept this?" This, Hinata kept asking questions, making Naruto speechless on the spot. Hinata is right, and every single word is true. Keeping someone like Deidara by your side is like a time bomb. This time bomb is not meant to be Deidara's self-destruction. But if Deidara stays in the hidden village, he will cause all kinds of trouble. Not only other villages and countries are not convinced. Even the ninja of Min and village themselves were equally unconvinced. So many ninja were killed by Deidara's explosion. Why leave behind such a disaster? Could it be that because he is so powerful, now that he has submitted to Naruto, he can forgive his past mistakes? This is obviously impossible, and even more so, impossible to accept. AI Naruto sighed, only feeling a headache coming on. Worked for half a day. This time Kodo Amatsukami is still Haku? If not, Deidara pretended to run away, hid in the Akatsuki organization, and continued to spy for Naruto? As soon as this idea popped up, Naruto immediately felt that it was very possible to do it. However, now is not the time to deal with such a matter. For now, it is better to quickly bring Guren on a trip to Konoha. "Hinata, how are Sujetsu and Baiji and the others? What big deal is going on?" Naruto crawled out of bed, ready to tear off the bandages on his body. Hinata's eyes immediately filled with fear. She quickly pressed down Naruto's hand. "What are you doing? This was just wrapped in bandages last night. The injury isn't healed yet. What do you want to do?" Naruto gently shook his head, looked at Hinata with a serious expression, and said, "Hinata, you also understand the situation right now. You just said Guren was poisoned, can't wait to wake up. I must immediately take her to Konoha." Thinking of Guren, Hinata immediately farted too. Naruto was right, Guren couldn't wait. Had to use the Wave Country to chase to Konoha. The fastest would need 3 days of time. Now it's been 3 days since Naruto fell into a coma, and it's unknown whether Guren can hold on until then. "Maybe your injury." Naruto smiled, reaching out to touch Hinata's cheeks. "Don't worry, I'm fine. I feel much better now. It's just that my body is a bit uncomfortable." As he spoke, Naruto began to remove the bandage on his hand. The bandages were completely removed. Naruto's peace hand was almost no different. The skin that was burned to the point of Kurenai's death that day was completely healed. "Oh my! Is it really that good? Why is it so fast?" Hinata's face was startled. Although she had heard Naruto say before, if she was injured, she would be fine after sleeping for a night. It can also be said that the injury is serious, like this kind of large body area burn injury. Even with Naruto's recovery ability, I'm afraid it will take at least a week. Naruto removed the bandages on his body and replied, "It must be that the Uzumaki bloodline in my body has perfectly fused with Hashirama's cells. Both have exceptionally powerful recovery abilities. When combined, their abilities are even more multiplied. Well, this is probably the best explanation. Hinata agreed, and then busily began helping Naruto remove the bandages wrapped around his body. After a while, Naruto changed his clothes, waved his arms to adapt to his body, then walked out of the door. Under Hinata's lead, they headed towards Girin's hospital room. Konoha Hokage building office inside. Tsunade was sitting behind her desk, holding a D-rank mission list in her hand. Carefully selecting a mission. Let me go and see. For the great lord and madam to search for the missing calico cat, little tiger. Go to the river to pick up trash inside the city. Go to your mother-in-law's vegetable garden to weed. Yes, these missions are all suitable for you. Choose one at will. Having said that, Tsunade raised her head and looked at the people standing in front of the desk. Konohamaru hugged his arms, his face unconvinced. He lightly snorted. Why this kind of boring mission? Can't you arrange some difficult mission for me? Like going to destroy bandits and bandits, like sending me to do some high difficulty S-rank mission or something. Tsunade's forehead immediately bulged with veins. She was busy working all day, but didn't have the energy to deal with this mischievous little brat. She wasted too much time. Konoha. On one side, Udon and Moegi, the two people, already saw that Tsunade had the tendency to get angry. The two of them quickly pulled Konohamaru's arm, hoping he would be reasonable. Ebisu saw these three people as his master, and naturally saw that Konohamaru had made Tsunade angry. He coughed twice, cleared his throat, and with a lion-like expression, advised Konohamaru. Konohamaru-kun. Every ninja that carries out a mission goes from low-level mission to high-level mission, slowly accumulating experience. No one can do it all at once, so we must definitely step into the field and complete each and every mission that we should complete. Hateful. Doing these boring missions all day is really pointless. Konohamaru was not convinced. His small fist clenched. He turned his head and shouted towards Ebisu. Break! Tsunade hit the desk with a loud bang, startling everyone in the room. Ebisu and the other four looked at Tsunade with fear and confusion on their faces. Just as Shizen brought the documents to the hallway, she was also busy holding Taunton tightly in her arms, speeding up her steps and running towards the office. Sir Tsunade. What kind of temper is this again? Tsunade stood up, her hands on the table, her face full of annoyance as she turned towards Konohamaru and let out a hiss. Shut up, Konohamaru. Whatever mission is arranged for you, just do it. Don't let me talk nonsense. So scary. Konohamaru scared the two, Udon Moegi beside him, hugging them tightly. Ebisu was also scared to the point of confusion, standing there a bit at a loss. Although he knew Tsunade's temper was a bit reckless, he still rarely saw Tsunade angry. Wow! Just when the atmosphere was a bit awkward, an orange figure suddenly appeared and stood beside the desk. The person who came was Naruto, and in his arms he was holding a painful face. Girin's body couldn't help but tremble. Lord Tsunade! What happened? The office door was suddenly pushed open. Shizen ran in with some fear. Naruto? You finally came back to visit me? Seeing Naruto appear, Tsunade very rarely instantly restrained her violent emotions. A smile appeared on her face. Naruto smiled awkwardly. Master. Although I haven't been here for a while, I'm also busy with men and village matters. Tsunade curled her lips, her face showing that she was lying. As for Naruto's fondness for doing things like waving his arms around as a shopkeeper, she was not unaware. Clear. Before that, the hidden village lacked medical ninjas. So Naruto asked Tsunade for help. Once, Shizen was sent to Minin Village to arrange medical treatment. At the same time, Shizen really knew how Naruto managed the village. At that time, Shizen returned and talked about this with Tsunade. Tsunade directly praised Naruto's intelligence, also shouted, wanted to leave the matter in her hands, to Shizen and Kakashi to handle. But this kind of thing obviously can only be imagined. The Leaf Village family's business grew, and the village's transportation system had long since become established. There was no way that Minin Village could be like that, so Naruto waved his hand and waved the shopkeeper. No matter what, it can still be transported normally. Shizen stood at the entrance with a confused expression, lowered her head to look at Taunton's chest, and said to herself, Taunton, what the hell is going on here? Choking equals Taunton exchanged two words, sweat dripping from his head expression. I myself do not know. Immediately, it escaped from Shizen's embrace, jumped down, and ran to Naruto's feet, using its head, rubbing Naruto's pants, using this to express affection. Atan, long time no see. This time I didn't bring you braised pork with pig's feet. Choking, Taunton's head was dripping with sweat, his body trembling with fear, unable to speak. The owner took 2 steps back. Last time Naruto came to Konoha to play, Shizen happened to be helping Tsunade with her work. Naruto then took Taunton out for a walk and played, tricking Taunton into eating a meal of braised pork with pig's feet. Taunton later found out that Naruto had humiliated his own kind and almost cried. Naruto-kun, you can't joke around like that again. Please treat Tontoni well. Shizen hurriedly rushed forward and hugged Taunton back. It was as if he was afraid that Naruto would inflict some kind of mental damage on Taunton. Choking, Taunton miserably cried out twice, putting his head in Shizen's sleeve and mouth. Just joking, don't take it seriously. Naruto smiled awkwardly. Naruto-sama, you're back in Konoha again. Konohamaru excitedly rushed forward and grabbed Naruto's shirt. Udon and Moegi also surrounded Naruto, one on the left and one on the right, with excited expressions. The powder looked at Naruto and started asking random questions. They may not have forgotten the first time they met. Konohamaru was strangled by the Sand Ninja. Naruto appeared to save them from the scene. Moegi, Naruto-sama, who is this woman in your arms? What's wrong with her? Udon, brother Naruto, how long do you plan to wait in Konoha this time you return? Being welcomed was a good thing, but Naruto immediately brought Girin to the rescue. Poison cure, wanting to be entangled with those kids endlessly, inevitably still a bit disliked. Very suitable. Akinomaru, Udon, Moegi, you guys should also start carrying out the mission. She is a friend of mine, and now she is injured. Naruto nodded and started a conversation with the 3 people. He responded perfunctorily and immediately revealed himself. Out for help eyes. Looking towards Tsunade. Tsunade helplessly smiled, naturally seeing that Naruto brought Girin here to find her. Support. Good. Konohamaru. The 3 of you immediately follow Ebisu to do the weeding in the vegetable garden. Mission. No rebuttals allowed. Tsunade's face was solemn. She glared at the 3 little guys with authority. Actually, the main purpose is to scare Konohamaru. This kid likes to get angry and cause trouble. Yes. Konohamaru was currently racking his brain and responding with a sentence. Immediately, Tsunade looked towards Ebisu, glanced towards him, and Naruto. 1. Ebisu put on his sunglasses and immediately accepted Tsunade's meaning. He knew Tsunade was talking about Naruto returning to Konohamaru village. Don't let Konohamaru and the others go out and talk nonsense. Nodding and smiling, Ebisu immediately shouted, All right, Konohamaru-kun, Udon Moegi, let's go. Only then did Naruto turn to Tsunade and say, Master, Father, Girin, you were poisoned. These past few years, I have not been diligent in practicing medical ninjutsu. As for the detoxification matter, I'm afraid I'll have to bother you again. Really, you know how to increase the difficulty of my work. Tsunade slightly pointed out. Regret not being able to make Steel look at Naruto, mainly still strange Naruto, did not bring. Healing ninjutsu practice well. Immediately she sighed, stood up and walked towards Naruto, examining his eyes. Girin's face, again pushed Girin's eyelids to look at a bit. This type of poison is truly rare, huh? However, there is still no cure for this condition. Saying that, Tsunade looked towards Shizune and instructed. Shizune, leave her to you to handle first. I have a few words to confide in Naruto. Yes. Tsunade-sama. Shizune nodded, put Taunton down, and walked over. Naruto in front. Naruto-kun, please leave her to me. I can handle it well. Naruto nodded, handed Girin to Shizune to hug. Senior Shizune, then thank you for your hard work. It's okay. Everyone is family. Shizune smiled, bringing Girin along. Turn and go out the door. Tsunade walked back to her office chair and sat down, her hands clasped under her chin, looking at Naruto and asking, Tell me, what exactly happened? With Girin's ability, how did he get this kind of poison? Tsunade also knows about Girin's secret. The 2 of them got to know each other after Girin brought Yukimaru to Konoha to ask Tsunade for treatment. Later, because of Tsunade and Naruto's teacher-student relationship, there were many development projects in the hidden village that needed Tsunade's help, but they were all carried out by Girin. Naruto's face revealed a trace of melancholy, and he said in detail, It's Akatsuki. Akatsuki sent 4 members to the Land of Waves, wanting to capture me, the 9-tailed Jinchuriki. I just happened to be out of the village at that time, so I went outside to carry out the mission. Zabuza, Guren, Haku, Suigetsu, and the others worked together to deal with those four. By the time I got the news and returned to the village, Zabuza was dead and Guren was already dead. Extremely poisonous. Tsunade's face was slightly frightened. She kept listening to Jiraiya talking, investigating the mysterious organization related to Akatsuki. From beginning to end, she had no face. All I know is that Akatsuki's strength is very strong, and they're secretly plotting to rob. When the tailed beast, unexpectedly, the other side actually sent 4 people to the Land of Waves to capture the 9-tailed Jinchuriki Naruto. Akatsuki? Since you can safely appear here, then this crisis should be over. Naruto nodded. A dispelling is dispelling. 3 of the 4 people died, and 1 was hit by my Kodo Amatsukami illusion technique and has completely submitted to me. Naruto also informed the actual situation. For Tsunade, there was no need to hide anything. The 2 masters and disciples have a deep friendship. These years until now, Minen Village has just been established. All aspects are not yet mature. Tsunade secretly helped Naruto with many things in the dark. Kodo Amatsukami? This guy Tsunade was a bit surprised. She didn't think that Naruto would be forced to use even his most secret of tricks. After a moment of silence, Tsunade continued. Calculating, it's best if you're fine. But you should still be on guard. Since Akatsuki has their eyes on you, there's naturally a possibility of another attack. Naruto nodded. Yes, don't worry, Master. I can handle it. That's right. You just said you had something to tell me. What exactly is it? Tsunade searched on the desk for a while, then immediately took out a scroll-style document and handed it to Naruto. You let me help investigate the whereabouts of Uchiha Sasuke. The Umbu people have returned information. Take a look. Sasuke? Naruto was a little happy and quickly took the scroll and opened it. Minen Village's manpower is insufficient. Moreover, most of the ninja are wandering ninja, more or less a bit of a rookie. Naturally, there are no ninjas as talented as Konoha Village. Therefore, regarding the matter of finding Sasuke's whereabouts, Naruto also similarly asked Tsunade for help. Tsunade naturally agreed without any hesitation, not to mention her teacher-student relationship with Naruto. Just Uchiha Sasuke, also one of the traitors within Konoha Ninja. She had every reason to stop Konoha from speaking out and let her subordinates do this without any hesitation. The scroll axis above the content, nothing too special. It was said that Uchiha Sasuke appeared in the Land of the Moon and was with 2 people wearing red robes. Inside, one had tangerine-colored hair. The other had a body covered extremely tightly. Unable to see the appearance, but right among them, that man with tangerine hair seemed to be able to communicate with the little bird, had extremely strong counter-reconnaissance ability. Therefore, the Konoha people could not easily follow the 3 people far, so the 3 people easily escaped. Man with tangerine hair? Who is this? Naruto raised his chin and silently clucked. It is true that as soon as he saw the little bird's ability, the range of his ability immediately shrank a lot. This means I was forced to go to Tenbin by Yakushi Kabuto before? In the original, it seems like only I have this ability. If that's the case, then could it be that the other red-robed person is Yakushi Kabuto? How did Sasuke end up rolling around with Yakushi Kabuto? This time Naruto was completely confused, unable to make the situation clear. Master, when did this news come back? The scroll above had no other content. Naruto put away the scroll, raised his head and looked at Tsunade and asked. Tsunade replied without thinking. 2 or 3 days ago, don't worry, the Umbu people inside have extremely strong ninja senses. There should be a chance to find them again. Naruto put the scroll back on the table and shook his head. No, I don't think it's likely that they're just passing through the Moon Country. If we want to find them again, I'm afraid it'll be a bit difficult. All have been discovered by others. Finding again is almost impossible. That sinister guy, Yakushi Kabuto. It was already good that he didn't kill the ANBU people on the spot. Search the place. Tsunade nodded, feeling that what Naruto said made sense. Immediately, her pupils rolled around, as if thinking of something. Don't worry, there just so happens to be a group of people nearby in Konoha Village who are not using any staff, and can go out and help search for Uchiha Sasuke's whereabouts. Leave it there without staff? Naruto did not understand Tsunade's meaning. Straight to see Tsunade knock on the table and speak. An Umbu ninja sneaked in, kneeling on one knee in front of the desk. Tsunade took another part of the list and began to read the names. Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame, Yamanaka, Sakura Haruno, Hyuganiji, Rock Lee, Tintin, Kakashi Hatake. Okay, go call them all. I want to arrange a special A-level mission. Yes, Suna. The Umbu ninja nodded in agreement. Even though he heard it, his head was still full of question marks, not understanding what kind of A-level mission it was that required so many people to carry out. But his duty was to obey Tsunade's orders, so he didn't ask any more questions and disappear into the office. Master, do you want them to help find Sasuke's whereabouts? Naruto asked. Tsunade smiled and nodded. Oh, that's right. They're almost all students from the same era as Uchiha Sasuke. And Kakashi Hitaki, as the team leader, was also once Uchiha Sasuke's teacher. So he is the most suitable choice. Moreover, most importantly, among these people, there are several who are good at tracking, so it will be quite smooth going forward from them. Naruto was deeply moved. Master, thank you so much for caring so much about me. Tsunade frowned. A trace of disgust appeared on her face. Really, you don't be so mean. You keep thanking me over and over again. I'll let people find Uchiha Sasuke. Not entirely to help you. In short, it can be considered that Konoha still owes Uchiha a little debt. Although it's meaningless. When Naruto heard Tsunade say, "You, don't be so disgusting," he thought she was the father of the Nine Tails. Isn't this the Kyuubi's favorite line? But hearing Tsunade's next words, he couldn't help but feel a little emotional. Early in the past, Itachi Uchiha brought Kisame Hashigaki, invaded the land of waves once. After Itachi Uchiha told Naruto everything, not long after, Naruto told Tsunade all of Itachi's secrets. Tsunade learned that the Uchiha clan was destroyed by this huge plot, and was shocked to the point of being speechless for a long time. How could she not have thought that the old men of the Leaf Village's upper echelons would actually do such a crazy thing? Only Itachi can do it for the safety of Konoha. In order to prevent the Uchiha village from rebelling in the future, and being eyed by his country, war and such things would occur. Just one person carrying so much stuff really made Tsunade feel extremely terrified. But things have come to this point. The reason those old men of Konoha village pressured the Uchiha village like this was entirely out of consideration for Konoha village's safety. Perhaps they were indeed wrong, but the starting point was still for Konoha. Who to whom, for the present to Tsunade, to go deeper into the matter, has no meaning. It was also Itachi who entrusted Naruto with the reminder, wanting Naruto to help take good care of Sasuke, which Tsunade felt was absolutely necessary. That's why Tsunade could say, Konoha owes the Uchiha a little debt. Estimated past about 10 minutes' time. Office corridor. A series of footsteps sounded, accompanied by a round of conversation, from far and near sounded. Really? Today I originally wanted to stay home and sleep in. It's rare to have some time to rest. Kiba, don't be angry anymore. Lady Tsunade called us here. Of course, she has important matters to arrange. Tsunade slightly frowned, seeming a little dissatisfied with Kiba's complaint. But he still folded his hands and supported his chin, waiting quietly. The main office door also has no lock. Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame, and Yamanaka, I bless the three of them, and they go through the gate together. Ah, that is Naruto. Kiba Inuzuka saw Naruto for the first time. His intuition was a bit unbelievable. Kiba, the Yamanaka thing is here, and Shino long time no see. Naruto saw his old friend, whose emotions were upset by the messy matter of men in village. Immediately improved a lot, smiling and waving his hand to greet him. Woof woof. The already grown big dog, Akamaru, raised his nose to sniff, after confirming the scent of Naruto. He barked twice towards Kiba Inuzuka. Search the area. Akamaru, I understand. Kiba Inuzuka revealed a smile, quickly ran over, and stood in front of Naruto. Naruto, you really haven't returned to Konoha for a while? We're almost 3 years away from seeing each other. Kiba said, 3 years no see, it really is true. Since the time when he was 12, he and the other 12 new ninjas went to the land of He to rescue Gaara. Later, Naruto also returned to Konoha many times, but basically never met these guys. Or Kiba and Shikamaru and a group of people, all have missions to bring, go to the village to carry out the mission. Or maybe Naruto found Tsunade and hurriedly did some work, handled the matter at hand, and then sent her ration back to the village. In the blink of an eye, 2.5 years have passed, plus more than 6 months. Shino wore a light blue coat, hands in pockets, half of his face and cheekbones hidden inside the collar. He slowly walked to Naruto's side, tilted his face, and said in Naruto's ear, Naruto-kun, you're the last one to call my name. It won't be like last time, not remembering who I am, so I deliberately used kun as a prefix. Took more time to think, then remembered me. Huh? Naruto looked confused. What kind of clothes-brain person is Shino? Why would he think like that? What, using kun as a prefix? What the hell is that? Yamanaka Mingfu also had a dark face. Walked in front of Naruto and said, Naruto-kun, although we are not very familiar, but I am willing to introduce myself to you again. My name is Yamanaka Mingfu, a member of the Yamanaka clan. I won't call Yamanaka that. Naruto once again looked confused. How could he have offended someone? Just don't remember his name. No need to be so angry. Moreover, Naruto and he are really unfamiliar. Only met once. Not remembering the name is normal. That. Naruto waved his hands, not knowing how to explain to these two narrow-minded people. When several people came through the door. Naruto, why are you back, haha? Sakura Haruno, Kakashi Hitaki, Hyuga Neji, Rock Lee, Tenten. This time the 5 people came in order. The one who just spoke was Sakura Haruno. Seeing these 5 people coming, Naruto seemed to have escaped from the disaster area, following Shino and Mingfu's resentful little gaze. He quickly rushed towards the 5 of them. Haha, Kakashi-sensei, little Sakura, Tenten Neji, Rock Lee, long time no see. Kakashi put the Ica Paradise, Lying Paradise, in his hand back into the bag, revealing a gentle smile. On Naruto, long time no see. Hyuga Neji's cold face also revealed a smile. Naruto-kun, are you and Miss Hinata doing well in the land of waves? Rock Lee raised his hand and raised his thumb, his white teeth flashing a trace of light. Naruto-kun, long time no see. I really want to have a physical competition with you, a youthful and passionate competition. Tenten stepped forward and sniffed at Naruto. Huh? I always feel that Naruto is much more handsome now than before. Could it be that because he became a leader, he exudes a different personal charm? Naruto touched the back of his head and smiled happily. Chatting with this group of familiar guys, he instantly forgot his current troubles and thought back to the time when he was together in Konoha practicing and playing. Tsunade smiled and looked at everyone, not saying anything. Until Naruto and the group were chatting almost at the same time. She coughed twice and reminded. Good. You guys have been chatting pretty well. Let's talk about the main topic next. I need to arrange a mission for you guys to carry out together. Tenten scratched her head, looking puzzled as she asked Tsunade. Lord Tsunade, what kind of mission is it that requires so many of us to be dispatched? I'm really curious. Tsunade nodded. This is what I have to tell you later. Listen carefully. The main mission is to find Uchiha Sasuke. I arranged for the Umbu staff to discover Uchiha Sasuke's whereabouts a few days ago in the Land of the Moon. Tsunade continued to explain the mission in detail. There were several people standing in front of the desk, all listening seriously. Only little Sakura heard Uchiha Sasuke after. His head suddenly went blank. A few years ago, Shizen ran to Minin Village to help, and also brought little Sakura along. It's not like Shizen is short on manpower. But Sakura, who had always kept Sasuke in mind, heard that Shizen wanted to go to Minin Village to help, so she begged to go with her. Just didn't wait until little Sakura arrived at Minin Village. Then heard the news that Sasuke had left. At that time, she was so anxious that she cried. Sasuke was gone, so no matter how much she was upset, it was useless. Time can heal all pain. These past few years, little Sakura slowly forgot about Sasuke's affairs. As for that feeling for Sasuke, she only vaguely kept it in the bottom of her heart, looking forward to the day when she could see Sasuke again. At first, seeing Naruto return to Konoha today, little Sakura was just like everyone else, very happy in her mind. It was true that when Tsunade mentioned Sasuke, her heart was a little nervous, as if her heart was forcibly stuffed into a block of rock. Her whole body felt extremely uncomfortable. Good. Everyone, please understand everything from beginning to end. This time, Kakashi will still be the leader and be in charge of the entire event. Tsunade explained the matter clearly and then gave instructions. Yes, Tsunade-sama. The group nodded in agreement, looking for Sasuke or something. For them, it was natural to happily accept the mission. It's not like they're like little Sakura caring about Sasuke that much. But if it is possible to save his old teammates and let Sasuke return to his rightful place as soon as possible, this is not necessarily an impossible task. Good. Everyone go home and prepare your ceremony equipment. Gather at the main gate in an hour. Kakashi accepted Tsunade's orders and started giving orders to the crowd. A group of people nodded in agreement, then said goodbye to Naruto one by one and headed towards the outside of the office. Wait a minute, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto quickly called Kakashi back. What? Kakashi turned his head in doubt. Naruto took out a specially made Hiraishin kunai from his body and put it inside his hand. You take this when the time comes and find Sasuke. I can also fly over to help. Search the place. Kakashi nodded, happily agreeing. Naruto turned his head to look at Tsunade and said, Master, you still need to channel your spirit a little bit. Katsuyu, let us carry out the transmission. Yes. Tsunade nodded, immediately forming a telepathy seal with both hands, above. Des clap. Break. A white mist exploded, and two large figures the size of Katsuyu's palm appeared. Katsuyu, I'll trouble you to take on some messenger duties. Yes. Leave it to me, Tsunade-sama. Katsuyu's tentacles twitched, and she immediately landed on the table. Crawling for a while, he jumped up and crawled on top of Naruto and Kakashi. Behind, Naruto-kun, please teach me more. Kakashi-san, please give me more guidance. Yes, don't worry. Kakashi was a little uncomfortable. He plucked Katsuyu from his back and stuffed her into his bag. Naruto also took Katsuyu down, put her in his bag, then said to Tsunade, Master, I will leave that Girin to you first. I will not continue to wait here for long. Minanthan still has a lot of things to deal with. Tsunade waved her hand. Let's go. If anything happens, I'll let Katsuyu inform you. Wow! Flying Thunder God technique activated. Naruto dodged and disappeared from sight. A long-abandoned underground headquarters. Three figures slowly walked forward in the dark corridor. This place looks like no one has been here for a long time. The hallways are covered with spider webs, and you have to occasionally use your hands to brush them away so that the webs don't stick to your face. Kabuto, what are we doing here? Leading the way, Sasuke walked in front, while gesturing at Kusunagi's hand, bringing those. The spider web fell, and one side did not turn back to ask. The red-robed Yakushi Kabuto seemed to have a sense of darkness towards this kind of environment. Extremely comfortable. Always liked to hide him tightly. Strangely took off that red hat and took it off. Alto viva Sokun. This place is the one Orochimaru once valued the most. Just experiment. Before there were still quite a few things guaranteed to exist here, I didn't bring them. Go. This time I come back and just bring them all back. Preservation object? What is that? Another man with tangerine-colored hair, walking side by side, asked. Yakushi Kabuto's glasses flashed white light, saying, Actually, there's nothing. What I have for you is just some of your replicated experimental data, and a very special item. Special item? Zhongta frowned, but seeing Yakushi Kabuto acting mysteriously, he definitely did not ask. In fact, this was not something he cared about. As long as I can follow Sasuke. From Sasuke, using Sharingan to block that murderous instinct. Moving immediately compared to anything are much more important. Sasuke turned his head and glared at Yakushi Kabuto, saying, I have no interest in your research on those things. Didn't I tell you to send someone to find Itachi Uchiha's whereabouts? Is there any progress? Looking at Sasuke's back, Yakushi Kabuto's eyes were slightly cold. Although he had long been used to Sasuke's commanding tone, every time he heard it, it still made him very uncomfortable. That's natural. I brought you guys out of the Uji Kingdom base. Isn't it to help you fulfill your wish to avenge your brother? Rest assured, this matter has always been done. Sasuke said in a low voice. I want a definite answer, not your kind of casual refusal. So, where exactly is Itachi Uchiha? Yakushi Kabuto nodded. Itachi Uchiha appeared in the Land of Earth some time ago. But I arranged for a spy in the Land of Wolf to be at the border, which is the place where it junctions with the Land of Fire, and discovered traces of Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hashigaki. The Land Country and the Fire Country are at the border. A cold light flashed in Nainasuk's eyes. Carry. After all these years, finally there is a chance for revenge. For the past 3 years, Yakushi Kabuto has been continuously working as an undercover agent in various countries. It's not like there's no trace of Itachi Uchiha. It's just that after that time in the Land of Waves, Sasuke was beaten up miserably by Itachi Uchiha. Sasuke knew that the gap between him and Itachi was still very far. Therefore, Sasuke always tried to make himself stronger, just so he could do it himself. Hand stabbed Itachi Uchiha, this traitor exterminator. 3 years ago, Sasuke completed Lightning Release Form Transformation and Nature Transformation. Both practice has brought Thunder Release to the 5 Flowers 8 Gates extremely clear. At the same time, with Yakushi Kabuto's help, Sasuke's strength, compared to before, has completely increased. Go up 1 floor. Sasuke now has absolute confidence that he can defeat Tachi Uchiha. Sasuke, thank you. You guys wait here for a while? I'll go get some things and be right back. Yakushi Kabuto pointed to the stone steps in front of the hall, signaling the two people to sit down for a while. Sasuke nodded, but stood still. Sasuke and Naruto had been here once before. It was also the time to find Suigetsu and Karen. Right now, this base is filthy everywhere, and there are also quite a few white bones scattered about. Sasuke, but was not in the mood to sit down and rest in this kind of place. Yakushi Kabuto just greeted him, then turned to the left and saw a dark spot. The branch channel went too, like there was something urgent to do. Trong said, Sasuke, you must avenge that person called Itachi Uchiha, right? Rest assured, I will do my best to help you. Sasuke held the Kuzunagi's hilt with both hands and shook his head. No, Itachi and I. You don't need to interfere. I must kill that guy myself. You and Kabuto just need to help me guard against Itachi's teammates and avoid them. Just dip your hand in. Trongtan naturally had no opinion, nodded and said, Is that so like this? Don't worry, I will change it. You did well. Kabuto was right. You were sent by Kimimaro to save me. Only you are capable. The ability to make me that kind of murderous urge instantly disappear. Sasuke didn't say anything more, using his Sharingan to suppress his emotions. This was just a matter of raising his hand. Sasuke didn't take it to heart at all. Only that I am willing to follow. In Sasuke's eyes, there is nothing wrong. Since I met Itachi earlier, it seems I still have to go to Grandma Meow's place to supplement. Add a Xiao Ringgit. Sasuke silently muttered in his heart. All these years, he has been cultivating underground in the dark headquarters of Noya Chi Kwak. In hand, except for a Kusanagi, there were no other ninja tools. Immediately, fighting with Itachi Uchiha, all matters must be considered with absolute certainty. There can be no mistakes or errors. Whatever the ring is, it naturally needs to be fully supplemented. In the place where Grandma Meow sells rings, some of them are special and specialized. Uchiha level used. Wave Country, Hidden Village. Just past noon, the sun's gentle rays shone on the earth, dispelling a bit of the cold that had begun to come from winter. A unique design in the park, built in blocks, tilted to form a tombstone. This place is located in the western mountainous region of Minen Village. It is the last place Minen Village was established, and it has just built a cemetery. Considering that the ninja group might have to make sacrifices in the future when carrying out missions, it was created at the end. For nearly 3 years now, this cemetery has always been empty, because the village had just been established, and there were no ninjas sacrificed. The weeds and wildflowers grew in large batches, and Tizano would often send people to repair and tidy them up. Perhaps no one ever thought that this was only a few short days ago. Normally empty cemetery. Suddenly in the middle, there were several hundred new graves and tombstones. This is the most tragic blow that Minen Village has suffered in the past few years. If Naruto hadn't rushed back, I'm afraid that under Deidara's bomb, Minen Village would have been completely leveled. At this moment, in front of the tombstone stood a large body wearing black mourning clothes originally. A group of hands holding fresh flowers, eyes filled with pain and loneliness. These were all ninjas from the Hidden Mist Village and the Hidden Mist Village, except for the guards at the entrance to the Wave Country. The rest of the people basically came to participate in this funeral. There were quite a few ninja family members also standing in the crowd. They really couldn't bear the sudden departure of their loved ones. They kept wiping away tears. Standing in the first row in the middle was a person with blonde hair and a similar body color. Black mourning clothes, he is the pillar of this village, Uzumaki Naruto. On Naruto's left and right, standing there were also some familiar-looking characters. There are Hyuga Hinata, Uzumaki Karen, Hozuki Suigetsu, the 5 disciples Haku, Tizana, Himemi, Shizuka. There are also Tsunami and Inari, mother and son. Tsunami looked at Zabuza's tombstone. Her eyes were already wet. She touched her own roundness. In the stomach, tears could not be held back and continuously slid down the cheeks. There are still 2 months. The child will be born. Why is it at this time again and again? Zabuza, why would something like this happen? Tsunami was so heartbroken that she cried without making a sound. She didn't know why she was so unlucky. Several husbands died young in a row. Like that. Moreover, he died to protect Song Chi Kwak. Mom. Inari tightly clenched Tsunami's hand, her eyes red, wanting to comfort her, but not knowing what to say. Inari has always thought about becoming stronger, being like Naruto, and becoming an excellent ninja in the future. But now seeing the normally strong and sturdy Zabuza suddenly die like that, he suddenly began to have doubts. Why is human life so fragile? Even someone as powerful as Uncle Zabuza would die so easily. In the future, I wonder if I'll be like this too, suddenly dying at the hands of the enemy. Boom! The skies suddenly appeared dark clouds. Lightning flickered and intersected between the dark clouds. Originally bright weather, suddenly a shower of rain came. The heavy rain poured down from Mizu, and in less than a moment, everyone's clothes were soaked. Maybe the rich are still standing there. No one is willing to just leave. Haku reached out to catch the raindrops falling from the sky, placed them in front of him, and said in a low voice, "Mr. Zabuza, is even the heavens crying for you?" Suigetsu put down the large sword he was carrying on his shoulder and used one hand to stab the tip of the sword into the mud. Let out a soft sigh. "Senior Zabuza, although I have always missed your great sword, beheading, but I also don't want to use this kind of method to achieve it." Inari inside loosened Tsunami's hand, walking in front of Naruto. He glared at that pair of slightly Kurenai eyes, just like that looked at Naruto in surprise. Asked, "Naruto-sama, why is Uncle Zabuza so powerful, but still dies so easily? Why is the rich man in the village waiting so well? No one has come to provoke him, yet there is still. Those weirdos broke into our village and wanted to kill everyone. Where is everyone's life? The ninja uncles clearly have such good personalities, and everyone gets along so well together. Why did so many people suddenly die? Nearly a few years have passed. Inari inside the long-term intermingled. In the ninja team, circle inside. In addition, the wandering ninja who joined the group were all very familiar. Every day, familiar faces, voices, and appearances appear in my mind. But now those familiar people all suddenly just like that died, this causing Inari's voice inside to choke with sobs. Naruto is the person Inari admires the most. He believes Naruto will definitely be able to give the answer. Perhaps Inari's words were heard by the group of ninjas standing behind him. Immediately the tycoon was filled with emotions. Just now, he was just sobbing softly. Bloom now completely turned into crying. They seemed to want to take their loved ones away from this kind of painful feeling completely. Secrete out. Naruto shook Inari's head, turned around, and gently hugged him into his chest. Take. Inari inside. If you are miserable, cry freely. Crying will make you feel much better. You are right. Zabuza is very strong. There really is someone stronger than him in this world. Exist. Zabuza sacrificed himself to protect the village and protect the rich. We should feel proud of him. As he spoke, Naruto released Inari, took the flower in his hand, and handed it over. Hinata in hand, turned back to face the ninja group, raised his voice and said, "Big brother, I know this time the incident in the village will be a huge blow to you all. Not only Zabuza, but also many of our hidden village ninjas sacrificed their lives in this battle to protect the village. They're all heroes, heroes in our hearts, protecting our brand new and somewhat fragile men in village at the cost of their lives. In this world, since the Warring States period, there have always been experiences of all kinds of wars and conflicts. The war almost cost countless ninja their lives, and it also cost countless villagers their families. Dependent, although we are now in what is considered an era of peace, war still exists. There is no end. There are still people behind the scenes quietly raising the war. I have no way to guarantee anything to you. I can only be like Zabuza, like sacrificing those heroic ninjas, giving us this village, every bit of it. Force." While Naruto was talking, the crying in the crowd gradually died down. Everyone began to focus their attention, listening to Naruto's narration. Undefined, or it's a bit difficult to open his mouth. Think of a way to stay in his country's ninja village. Think of a way to steal and learn some ninjutsu. In the eyes of the ninja group of the great ninja village, these wandering ninjas' cliches and tricks can only be considered as unscrupulous things. But for wandering ninja, such great efforts and hardships, and the achievements on this ninja path, are their lifelong glory and honor. Under this premise, wandering ninja are actually just some ordinary country villagers. When war breaks out, the first to get involved is usually. These countries are normally peasants. Ninja groups them in the war inside kill red eyes. Is even against the enemy country. Usually villagers also know how to massacre and kill, to vent their anger. Some have a more brutal temperament, are fierce and cunning, and can do almost anything. Although normally the great powers will have rules that do not allow ninja in the village for the villagers carry out harm. But once the war broke out, the ninja groups scattered everywhere. And the ones that remained would have. The person who took care of you, Sat, didn't kill any of those villagers or anything. What Naruto just said to the 1,000 or so ninja below, it can almost be said that everyone deeply understood it and understood it very well. Because they themselves are also ordinary villagers. There are quite a few people in. The elders of the family may have suffered persecution during the war. Sir Naruto, what exactly do you mean by that? Is someone trying to start a war against our wave country? Disgusting. We must definitely capture this enemy. We must definitely bring his intentions to an end. The guy who harmed our village was exterminated. That's right, Lord Naruto. It was with great difficulty that we finally got here. Let's settle down here and make a living. We Zetsu must not let anyone destroy the village. Sir Naruto, tell me, who is the enemy? We all agree. Mobilize, go destroy the enemy. I'm afraid our strength will decrease. But we must also release some force. In the ninja team, there were quite a few people who understood what Naruto just said. That sentence someone intended to start a war behind the scenes. Everyone heard it in their hearts, under their eyes. The entire group of ninjas began to wave their arms and shout loudly, turning their grief and anger into hatred, declaring that they wanted to avenge Zabuza and his men and eliminate those who intended to destroy the village. But Naruto knew very well that facing the Akatsuki organization and these people, the martial arts force is still too low. It is basically not effective in large-scale battles. Bring the ninja village to fight. It's no different than 1,000 miles to give away a head province. Just let people bring food, under the eyes, still first calm down everyone's mood. Let them focus all their energy on village construction and defense. Relatively stable. But Naruto just now, it also had no effect. At least let them all temporarily come out of the pain inside. Aware of the danger. Later practice and exercise will be more effort. The enemy, I believe everyone is clear in their hearts, is the Akatsuki organization. Actually, it's embarrassing to mention. They're looking for me, because there's a tailed beast inside my body. This time the Akatsuki people invaded the village. The main reason was to capture this tailed beast of mine, Jinchuriki, but let Zabuza and the others suffer. Naruto's words were not finished yet. There were several Naruto fans who loudly protested. Sir Naruto, how can you be blamed for this kind of thing? If you want to blame someone, you can only blame the Akatsuki organization for being too cruel. That's right, that immortal guy, and those other guys are all perverts. I believe they also killed many people outside. That day, Haiden and the others, how cruelly they killed people. Many ninjas and villagers saw it in their eyes. This word brought the ninja group to agree. Now they started to put their heads together, having a good discussion. While talking, the rain suddenly stopped. This rain came quickly and went quickly. The sun emerged from behind the dark clouds, and sunlight once again spread over the earth. Naruto raised his head to look at the sun. The light, although extremely unpleasant to the eyes, but still gave people bring a ray of warmth. Immediately, Naruto looked back at the ninja and said in a hoarse voice, "Big brother, I know that in your hearts you are all holding back a feeling of anger, holding back a feeling of hatred. You really want to take revenge on your enemy. But we cannot only contain hatred in our hearts, because hatred will make us lose our minds. Let us go to the dark side. This time, it is just a journey we go through in our lives. We must overcome the pain and bravely move forward. The hard times will eventually pass, just like this heavy rain. It will never, forever down, always giving us worry what kind of sunshine will also shine on us. Our village is still too weak. We need everyone's strength together. Let the village quickly become strong. As for how to deal with Akatsuki, I will slowly discuss it with the higher-ups in the village. You don't need to worry. Everyone work hard together. Let's make our village better and better. Our future is getting better and better." The ninja group just now had quite a few people whispering and discussing. As time passed, the discussion died down and stopped. Only Naruto's words remained lingering in her ears, and the wind slowly blew beside her, slowly blowing through the sound ringing out. Everyone was moved by Naruto's words, and at the same time, they were also encouraged by Naruto's words. "Lord Naruto, Rest assured, village construction and defense. I will definitely pay back the price. 10 times the effort. No, I have to put in 100 times the effort. There's still me. There's still me. Tomorrow, after my patrol ends, we have to go to the city gate square on the other side to help build new rooms. Me too. I will definitely increase my physical training and practice. I will strive to make my body's flexibility reach its full strength. Then I can enter the ninjutsu school to learn the 8 gates doinjia. The grief on the ninjas' faces gradually dissipated. They held flowers in their hands and bowed to the dead person one by one. This story has been so short for a while. Tsunami wiped the tears from her face, revealing a fading smile, slowly walking towards Naruto. Naruto! Thank you. Nami, ain't you? Naruto was a bit confused, not understanding what she suddenly said. Thank you means what? Tsunami's eyes smiled slightly and said, what you just said is very true. We can't just live in the past. Anxiety will follow us through life. In disappearance. As she spoke, she stroked her open belly. Moreover, Zabuza also left me a most precious gift. I will definitely raise the child well. Naruto looked at Tsunami in his stomach, squinted his eyes, and smiled. Ayani Nami, don't worry, in the future I can be his master. Teach him ninjutsu. In the future, he will definitely be as excellent as Zabuza. Is that so? Then thank you very much. Tsunami heard this. The smile on her face grew even wider. My name is Naruto pointed at his nose, feeling a little embarrassed. What a name Naruto really not very good at. The last time in village was named. Naruto still called a meeting of everyone. After receiving the opinions of the masses, Tizana wanted to come out here. Helplessly, Naruto had no choice but to turn his eyes for help. Looking towards his teammates beside him, hoping they could assist. Karen pushed up her glasses, the corner of her mouth revealing an evil smile, which had just begun to break. Naruto, your name is really, what's so difficult about choosing a name, hesitating for so long? I saw your speech just now. You really said everything very emotionally. Raise your head. That's right. Naruto, your eloquence just now was really good. You touched me so much. Suigetsu smiled and added his support. Naruto immediately fell silent, looking at the two of them. What are you two talking about? Built after so many years, is it still a life and death rivalry one day? If you don't argue, your whole body will feel uncomfortable. How come you're still singing and dancing now? What do you mean you're making fun of me? Karen curled her small mouth. Cut. Who told you, this guy, to make a fuss about his previous lover? But I didn't make fun of you. Seeing the argument between the two, Hinata finally stood up and pulled Naruto's wing. Hand, smiling and saying, Big brother, don't make a fuss. Quickly accept public opinion. Come help little Zabuza get an easy name. Listen. Suigetsu scratched his chin and raised his eyes, saying, why don't we just call it a final beheading? Together with Zabuza. The senior's name is one letter different, moreover. Break. Suigetsu, if you are really uneducated, you shouldn't open your mouth. Karen just heard this name. Immediately out of habit, a punch at Suigetsu on the back of the head. Immediately, Suigetsu was hit so hard that his head turned into a stream of water, spraying water everywhere. Huh? This name. Tsunami's face revealed a trace of disgust, and she quietly retreated half a step back. Naruto and the others were teased by Suigetsu and Karen, this pair of idiots. Come out. The 5 elements just put down the fresh flowers at Zabuza's grave and went back to Naruto. In front, that calm face had no expression. Naruto-sama, how is Girin-san now? Is she still okay? When the Akatsuki group of 4 invaded the land of waves, the 5 elements just happened to not be in the village. After he returned, he heard that Girin was poisoned and in a coma. His life was almost hanging by a thread, and he was always worried about Girin's situation. Naruto nodded. Girin? I took her to Konoha. Master is currently helping her with treatment. Don't worry, she's fine. Is that so? That's great. The 5 masters knew Tsunade's medical skills. Considered as one of the 9 Anin characters. Considered as the ninja world's #1 healer ninja, Tsunade. There must be a way to save Girin. Wu Tu's eyes still did not leave Naruto, asking again. So, what are we planning to do next? Do we want to attack the Akatsuki people? As he said this, Naruto clearly felt a trace of murderous intent emanating from his body. This 5 elements guy looks like he really got angry because of Girin. Naruto was inside, silently said a sentence. All these years, the five disciples have been following Girin around with great difficulty. He has that gratitude and respect for Girin, but he's afraid there's also something else. Number one human factor. Naruto can see this. Not only Naruto, like Suigetsu, Karen, Hinata, and the others. Each one also saw it. Okay. Anyway, the rich people look up and don't see each other every day, and are familiar with each other. So, although Wu Tu always had an expressionless face all day, whenever he encountered Girin's matter, he would appear exceptionally enthusiastic. If all of this was just because of Girin's favor that year, then it would be completely impossible. Naruto patted Wu Tu's shoulder and said, "Don't worry, I already have some plans. I'll call you all to meet after the funeral ends." Speaking, Naruto turned his head to look at Tsunami. "Aunt Nami, name the story. Give me a few days first. Tama, I still need to think carefully." Tsunami nodded. "Yes. This matter is not urgent. Naruto, you and the others first. He went to negotiate important village matters." "Good." Naruto nodded. Then looked towards Hinata and the others. "Everyone, the funeral ceremony should be completed quickly. Let's go to the meeting room." "Yes." Hinata and the others nodded together, restraining their smiles, their faces covered in silence. Important. Immediately, the rich man each took the fresh flowers in his hand, went to give them to Zabuza, and said a few farewell words to Zabuza. Finally, Naruto brought a few people and headed towards the meeting room on the other side. Arriva. In the rectangular meeting room, on a round table, Naruto sat at the main seat. At this time, Hinata, Suigetsu, Karen, Inari, Haku, the five, Tazana 6 sat separately. "People." Naruto glanced at the boss and slowly said, "I know this time. It's a blow to you. Are all very big. Brother Bai, Suigetsu, you were beaten so badly this time. Do you have any thoughts of revenge?" Haku, eyes flashed with cruelty, nodded and said, Mr. Zabuza will not just die. In that case, even though the guy with the immortal body was burned to death, it was truly. The ringleader is Akatsuki. This point I can be very clear about." Suigetsu tightly gripped the hilt of the great sword and said in a low voice, "To be honest, Haku and I feel the same way, but Naruto is right. We were beaten really badly this time. I've been staying in the village all these years and not going out. I have been praised by those ninjas all day long. I have really forgotten everything. I thought that my strength was already very strong, so strong that anyone would have a chance to get past me. But it was only after this time that I truly realized that in this world, there are still many truly perverted guys like him." The five figures clenched their fists tightly, although they did not speak, but everyone, seeing that, he also thought that those dead ninjas in the village were taking revenge. Naruto turned his head and looked at Hinata. "Hinata, tell me what you think." Hinata nodded. "Yes, Suigetsu is right. Akatsuki people are indeed very strong, so strong that it really is like a pervert. Even Naruto-kun needs to use up all his energy to deal with them. From this point of view, the person we want to seek revenge on right now is Akatsuki. 10 parts irrational one thing. Also, don't forget Naruto-kun. There might be a 9 tails inside his body. Akatsuki's goal was to collect the tailed beasts, but this time the Akatsuki 4's mission completely failed. I believe that very soon, there will be another wave of Akatsuki organization people who will once again step into our village. Therefore, I think the first thing we need to do is build a good village defense. On the other hand, increase the number of patrol personnel. It is necessary to make sure that there is no one invading the village. Men in village here can know in time. Only then will we not fall into a passive situation." Hinata said, "Very reasonable. Here are all smart people. In fact, this news everyone just needs to calmly analyze. Can all very quickly understand. But often when a person's heart is occupied by hatred, they will lose their mind and be unable to make correct judgments and choices. Under the eyes." After Hinata had explained the whole story from beginning to end, everyone nodded one by one. No one said anything, wanting to go find the Akatsuki organization people to take revenge. With this time, it is better to spend on village defense measures, such as the villagers and ninjas in the village, to increase a part of safety protection. Haku said in a low voice, "Will Akatsuki invade the village again? Good thing I want to avenge Mr. Zabuza." Suigetsu's mouth corners pulled up into a cold smile. "If that's the case in the following days, I will definitely try to strengthen my cultivation and strive to improve my strength as soon as possible." Step, next time Akatsuki people come before they come. Beat them without any time to react. Gadu nodded. Tomorrow I will go on a business trip with the patrol team. I will book all the rooms on the other side of the Songchi Kingdom entrance. Karen smiled. Akatsuki people will have the next invasion? Really, I will also bring. Feeling ability maximize use. Absolutely will not let this happen this time. Again, everyone was excited and enthusiastic. But Naruto suddenly spoke up, pouring a bucket of cold water on Karen. Karen, you still is the same as before. Cooperate with Box A to complete the main affairs of Min and village first. Work A, city room feeling something, no need for you to interfere. Karen immediately became upset. What? You? Are you looking down on my abilities? If an enemy appears, I will definitely be able to capture him. Naruto shook his head. No, Karen, you misunderstood. I didn't mean that. Just now Hinata also said, each Akatsuki person is very strong. We have no way to predict who will come next time. Your feelings are natural abilities. No need for many words. We all have them all. Clear power. But your self-defense ability is limited. I don't hope that you encounter danger at the first opportunity, and then encounter a poisonous enemy. Hinata also heard the meaning in Naruto's words, and quickly spoke up to support. That's right, Naruto-kun, and I thought the same thing. The ninja patrolling the city wall. They naturally wouldn't be Akatsuki's match. Therefore, their job is to quickly detect the enemy. Then through the radio communication tool, quickly convey the report to this village. To block the enemy's work, we need these people to go together to respond. Hinata's words made the master once again clarify his train of thought. Karen also knows that although her senses and healing are powerful, her self-defense ability is indeed very poor. So, she did not continue to persist too much. Wanted to do something outside the city to feel. I understand. Haku also agreed, willing to continue his usual busy day. Busy, Naruto said in a low voice. That's right. There's one more thing I forgot to tell you. The master on the other side has already found Sasuke's whereabouts. He is currently sending people to search for him before going to the Moon Country. If they find out what Ada Sook said, they will inform me of the past together, I think. The way to bring Sasuke back. Suigetsu said. Sasuke? That guy left a few years ago, and there's been no news of him since. That's right. I don't know how he is now. Karen was a bit absent-minded. Maybe. I immediately thought of the Churin exam when I was young. And that time Sasuke saved me. Naruto said, Sasuke's current situation might be a bit complicated. I look at the Hidden Leaf Village. The staff sent back the news, above in the description. Sasuke is like Yakushi. Kabuto rolled around together. Kabuto. The 5 elements were stunned. Previously, the 5 disciples were captured and taken to Orochimaru's base, where they were subjected to that extremely cruel human experiment. But it was Yakushi Kabuto who made Orochimaru's left and right hands doing down those things. Until now, the 5 disciples still clearly remember being poured into that kind of translation later suffering. Still the same. Old imprisoned in the dark dungeon inside, the period thinking back is terrifying time. Asked without saying, Naruto-kun, Ada Sook was with us before. Haven't you ever known that Yakushi Kabuto is a bastard? Why would he still be with people like that rolling around together? Naruto helplessly sighed and shook his head, saying, I'm not too clear about it either. Specifically still have to wait to find Sasuke, only have to ask clearly again. Immediately, Naruto glanced at the crowd and said, on the contrary, we are mainly looking at, first, we still need to improve the village defense and construction issues first. Old Tizana, that square is destroyed. Please lead people there quickly. Recovery. The crowd was chatting about ninja and fighting issues. Tizana was always. No words interjected. Hearing Naruto's words, he smiled and nodded. Yes. Don't worry, I'm fine. The article is prepared by the staff. Good. That's pretty much it. Everyone disperse first. I'll do this for now. I will do my own thing. Negotiation is satisfactory. Naruto wondered in his heart. How should the defense of the land of waves be strengthened? Just based on those ninjas, it's definitely not very realistic. It's still the same old problem. Min and Village Ninja doesn't have enough manpower. And this island nation of waves is surrounded by sea on all sides. Enemies can sail towards it and launch an attack from any place. Deidara and the 4 of them, therefore, followed the great bridge of waves to the front, starting from the front. Attack. That is entirely because people are arrogant. have that ability, and are not afraid of being discovered by others. If it were someone else, I would be so embarrassed that I would not be able to say a word. Whatever sudden attack is completely very difficult to detect. Want not to go and beg master. Find her on a set of Konoha defensive barrier. The scroll of the formation. Naruto raised his chin with his hand, wondering carefully. The giant spatial barrier in the village of Konoha was mainly sensed by the Hyuga clan's people on duty. Like that kind of barrier, it can be felt extremely sensitively. Almost no one can break through. Like a defensive barrier, without being known. Wave Country naturally has no ability to find a team of Hyuga clansmen to return, then, such a barrier. Not to mention finding Hyuga Hayashi, this father-in-law, he was unwilling. But Naruto, from the beginning to the end, the relationship between Konoha and the village has not been peaceful. If people know that Hyuga outside sent ninja to the land of waves, by that time, the Hyuga clan in Konoha village will probably not be able to avoid being gossiped about and criticized. This is not what Naruto hopes to see, and even more so, he does not want to embarrass his father-in-law. Therefore, we can only find Tsunade a simple one-point barrier plan. Earlier, Naruto had asked Tsunade about this. Tsunade also did not hesitate to talk about defensive barriers. There were several types that were considered quite good. It's just that compared to the current Konoha, there are quite a few gaps. Good, let's do it. Naruto leaned against the table, already decided. What is it, Naruto-kun? What are you worried about? Hinata grabbed Naruto's hand tightly, eyes full of worry. Nothing. I'm about to return to Konoha to find Master for some help. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a sound of hurried footsteps outside the room. Not long after, a guy wearing a blue ninja vest, along with Sujetsu, Karen, and the others met. Momentarily stopped at the conference table. He turned to salute Naruto and said, Lord Naruto, 2 ninja from the Stone Village have come. They say they want to see you. Rock Village. Naruto was slightly stunned. Thinking back to the previous incident of imprisoning the 4 spies, he immediately understood what was going on. Okay, I know. Take me to meet them. Naruto greeted the blue-clad ninja. Yes. Lord Naruto. The blue-clothed ninja nodded, immediately turning around to lead the way. Come on, Hinata, let's go take a look. Naruto stopped Hinata's shoulder and headed towards conference room. Go out. Men in village, a certain room in the reception room. Karatsuchi and Akachi, both in light red robes, were led to sit on the sofa. You too. Please wait. Lord Naruto will be here shortly. The blue-clad ninja guide said something, and without waiting for the 2 to respond, turned around. Immediately went out of the room, standing guard quietly by the door. Karatsuchi poked Akachi's arm and said in a low voice, Akachi, don't you see? This Mingin village decoration is really impressive. How much money did it cost? Akachi scratched his head, his expression honest as he said, I don't know how much money was spent, but we in Stone Village definitely can't afford this amount of money to build the village to such a beautiful state. Karatsuchi hugged his arms and snorted softly. This guy called Uzumaki Naruto is really, yes, clearly have so much money, still insist on cheating our Stone Village finances. Akachi said, maybe you on the way here didn't say. It's our village that's wrong. Before? Karatsuchi opened his Byakugan. You are really stupid. We were not right before. Wrong. Maybe this village doesn't look like it's lacking money at all. He wants so much money. Isn't it obvious that he's making things difficult for us? Akachi nodded. That's true, but when we just entered the village, didn't you notice that there were traces of fighting everywhere, and the road over there was so badly destroyed? It clearly explains that a great battle just happened here. While the 2 were talking, a series of footsteps came from outside the room. Very quickly, a blonde-haired teenager led a pure white-eyed girl striding into the room. These 2 people ran to Naruto and Hinata. Naruto just entered the room, then tilted his head to glance at the 2 people on the sofa. Seeing their appearance, a trace of fear appeared on his face. A girl not much older than Naruto, even with her legs crossed. A pair of beautiful thighs were also highlighted by that high-waisted long skirt, highlighting the straight, white shape. Light. Isn't this the legendary Rotten image? Another tall and plump man, with a simple appearance and face on top of his head, wrapped around one end of the red scarf. Also the original inside appeared through familiar mission, Tsuchikage Ongoki close. Guard almost always with Inoki-like shadow. This guy's appearance is extremely similar to Inoki. Naruto once suspected that he was Inoki. Stepchild. Or, illegitimate grandson? On the contrary, it doesn't look like a simple teacher-student relationship. Kong. Host has initiated the original script to change the mission. Please make a point. Down the selected mission content. We'll harvest to bring corresponding mission rewards. Choice 1. Imprison Akachi. Place Kuratsuchi in the host's harem group. Rising Wave Country and Earth Country War. Complete reward. Iron Mountain's power increases by 30 years. Second choice. Order Deidara to return to Stone Village to throw grenades. Leveling Stone Village. Flat land. Complete reward. Kirin arm power increased by 30 years. Choice 3. Conquer Stone Village. Place Stone Village under the host command. Complete reward. Would release. Tree World subduing egg ninjutsu using detailed method. Just as Naruto brought Hinata to sit down, he had not yet had time to talk to Kuratsuchi and Akachi. The system's long-standing voice suddenly rang out in Naruto's mind. Naruto was stunned, seriously listening to the system mission content. Sure enough, the system is still the same as before. Unreliable, making a mess of the mission. The mid-ranking and second-ranking missions. What the hell are they? Put Kuratsuchi in the harem? Although her beautiful thighs were indeed very attractive, Naruto was not hungry to this extent. Let Deidara go to Stone Village to throw grenades? If this kind of thing really happens, then it's like those crazy people from Akatsuki organization. Revenge maniac social guy? What's the difference? Also the third quest reward, also very attractive. Just that the content of that mission is even more unreliable than the previous two. Conquer the Earth Kingdom? No matter how you say it, the Earth Kingdom is one of the 5 great nations, so it must have a number of ninjas, at tens of thousands or more. This is a newly emerging force from Minen Village. Can it resist? As for letting Naruto use violence, it will convince the Earth Kingdom. Although this is not completely impossible, Sachika Jinoki is not a vegetarian. If you do that again, you'll come back to the same problem. Same as the Akatsuki organization's revenge on society, no different. To achieve the goal, no matter the means, give in. The blood of the Earth Kingdom flows like a river. That is the only way. Only a person with a great conscience will do things. System, are you sure you're not making fun of me? Naruto complained in his heart. Kong, please quickly make a mission selection. Otherwise the system will automatically help the host make a selection within 10 seconds. 10, 8, 6. Naruto obediently accepted the fear and quickly chose the third option in his heart. Want to really make the system choose immediately? Then how far? Tricked Akachi and Kuratsuchi away, and let Deidara return to Stone Village to throw grenades. This, regardless of which side, would only make things worse. The system's voice reminder rang out in Naruto's mind again. 1 year? Although it seems very short, this 1 year has been completely enough. You are the leader of the hidden village. Uzumaki Naruto? I am Kuratsuchi, a ninja from the Stone Village who came to negotiate peace. Kuratsuchi smiled politely and greeted Naruto. I am Akachi, hello. Akachi nodded, without much expression. He was not good at speaking, so before leaving, Inoki had informed him. Negotiating matters, all left to Kuratsuchi to do. And he only needed to be responsible for wholeheartedly protecting Kuratsuchi's safety. Hello everyone, I am Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto nodded, immediately stretched out his hand to Hinata, and introduced. This is Hyuga Hinata, my future young wife. Young wife? Kuratsuchi and Akachi were both filled with question marks. This was the first time they heard this new word. Hinata couldn't help but blush, glaring at Naruto with some embarrassment. She might have heard Naruto explain it before. The young wife is the old lady's meaning. Didn't think that Naruto would call me that in front of outsiders. Ah, like this, then I really congratulate you guys. Kuratsuchi was very smart. Seeing Hinata's reaction, he immediately understood the young wife's meaning and smiled as he looked at the two. Congratulatory. But Kuratsuchi couldn't help but feel bored. You two are also in love. So early Again speaking. Now also popular go out to meet, guest meet. Also, one like that grace. Love? Kuratsuchi's eyes wandered around, taking back those idle thoughts and returning to the main topic. Back to the main topic above said, Naruto-san, Akachi, and I came here this time to represent my grandfather, who is also the Tsuchikage of the Stone Village. I apologize for causing trouble like you. My grandfather is old. He is really senile because he is afraid of you Min and Thon. This is a new power. So I thought of sending my subordinates, to find out some information. Newspaper. Didn't think of this. But Mr. Naruto saw it with one glance. This really makes us feel ashamed. Kuratsuchi said neither fast nor slow, in his words filled with flattery towards Naruto and admitting the Rock Village's mistakes. These words, she thought about for a long time on the way there. She has a straightforward personality. She is the type to hit someone if she sees someone upset. She has a bit of a violent temper. Let her do this kind of negotiation work, including some flattering words, really. It really makes her very embarrassed. But there was no way who told her to take this job on herself. It was also at that time that I was trying to leave the Stone Village to go out and play, so I had to pay the price. Naruto and Hinata glanced at each other. Both of them heard Kuratsuchi's words. Wanting to accept, lose fear meaning. This made both of them a little surprised. Who would have thought that the great cause of the Great Stone Village would actually let the Tsuchikige's granddaughter come to the Land of Waves to apologize? Naruto Fudo's voice was clear. He looked at Kuratsuchi and said, Kuratsuchi, I'll just tell you this. You can just call me Naruto. I don't like using honorifics. Good. Kuratsuchi was a little surprised, not thinking that Naruto would be so direct. Naruto nodded. Since you just said those words so sincerely, I'm not a calculating person. I won't bother investigating the matter of the Stone Village, sending people to infiltrate my hidden village. I previously gave you a report from the Stone Village ninja returning to you. I believe that Tsuchikage should have received it. 4 ninjas, a total of 42 million ransom. This time you have brought enough. Money? What? Kuratsuchi could not believe his ears. The smile on his face stiffened. You are not a calculating person? I've said so many useful words for half a day, but in exchange you didn't pursue me. Save responsibility, oral response. So the gap money is a part also not intended to be missing? Akachi looked at Naruto with the same surprised expression, but honestly, he didn't see Kuratsuchi's rapid change of expression. Only thinking that Kuratsuchi didn't hear Naruto's words clearly. Kuratsuchi, Naruto means to say, to save the Demon Bean and Tomoki and the others, we still have to spend 40 million too. Kuratsuchi immediately became angry, raised his hand, and pushed Akachi's big face hard. You idiot! I know. No need to remind me. Immediately, Kuratsuchi's eyes filled with anger as he looked towards Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto, what exactly do you mean by this? Are you still trying to intentionally not get through with my Stone Village? 40 million and 2 pairs in any Ninja World village is not a small sum of money. Spending. How did I, Stone Village, pass such a large sum of money? Those sweet words that were said earlier had already exhausted Kuratsuchi's patience. After all, this completely violated her personality and style. Now Naruto is accepting her apology, and still wants to pay compensation for that day. This makes Kuratsuchi completely furious. Kuratsuchi, calm down. We are here to negotiate. Akachi pulled Kuratsuchi's arm and advised. Naruto quietly looked at Kuratsuchi, seeing her angry round face, but just smiled faintly and said nothing. Humph! Kuratsuchi was stared at by Naruto like that, and immediately became even more angry. Naruto said slowly, Kuratsuchi, don't be so angry. Look, you really came to talk to me, not to show me your face. Kuratsuchi opened his Byakugan and thought to himself, you have no intention of negotiating peace with me. This is clearly intimidation / Naruto ignored Kuratsuchi's attitude and continued to mumble. You can release the 4 of them, but you still have to give them money. As for the amount of money, if you feel it's not appropriate, you can continue to negotiate. Kuratsuchi stretched out a finger. 1 million taels. We only brought this much money. This is the most we can offer. You see how it is handled. Want to oppose the Stone Village, still this time sell us some face later. The 2 villages establish friendly relations. You choose. After saying that, Kuratsuchi crossed his hands in front of his chest and walked around, looking like he didn't want to waste any more words with Naruto. Naruto raised his chin, pretending to think for a moment, then said, well, I'll listen to the young wife's words. You guys continue to rest here for a while. I'll go outside and discuss with the young wife. After saying that, without waiting for Akachi and Kuratsuchi to answer firmly, Naruto pulled Hinata's small hand, stand up toward the living room, go out. Naruto-kun. You. Outside the living room, at the corner of the hallway, Hinata's small face and Kurenai raised their heads to look at Naruto, not knowing what he wanted to do by bringing her to this kind of hidden place. Could it be that he wanted that kind of bad thing again? Hinata, which prison did you put Deidara in? Naruto asked. Hinata was stunned, so this is what Naruto-kun wanted to ask. Whenever my thoughts, also, turn out to be a little different than usual. Trajectory. Hinata's face turned even redder, saying, Deidara? He's in the underground prison floor. 2. Because he will explode due to Earth style, we handcuffed and shackled him. His legs were completely electrified, so there was no way he could escape at will. Naruto was a little surprised. Ah. You guys also discovered that Deidara's explosion was Earth release. Hinata nodded. That's right. That day when I watched you and the others fight. I quickly realized that Deidara's hand seal technique was the Earth release seal, even though he did it very secretly. My wife is so amazing, come, give her a kiss. Naruto chuckled and then laughed again, lifting Hinata's cheeks with both hands, preparing to touch her mouth. Seeing that Naruto wanted to do something bad again, Hinata quickly raised her hand to block Naruto's mouth. No wonder. Hey, Naruto-kun. Don't make a fuss. Quickly talk about the main point. What did you just ask where Deidara was? Naruto was still a bit unwilling, pulled Hinata, held her soft place, and gently stroked it, then said, I thought of an idea. Use Deidara to go to a Wagakure, fill in my eyes. This way I can have a chance in the future. Let a Wagakure recruit under my command. Hinata knocked down Naruto's dishonest hand with one strike, her eyes carrying a hint of confusion as she glared at Naruto. Don't make a fuss. Let's talk about business. You want to conquer Stone Village? This news shocked Hinata. What locality is Stone Village? This is the same level as Konoha. Among the 5 great ninja villages, their strength is ranked among the top existences. Maybe Naruto actually thought of wanting to let the Stone Village submit. The more she thought about it, the more she felt something was wrong. She raised her hand to touch Naruto's forehead and asked worriedly, You don't have a fever, do you? Although this kind of thing was suddenly said, it was indeed a bit shocking. But Hinata's reaction still made Naruto a little upset. How come this girl doesn't believe in her husband's ability? Hinata, I'm telling you the truth. I want to conquer the Stone Village. Seeing Naruto's serious expression, Hinata also knew Naruto wasn't joking. In my head, I recalled the things that happened while I was hiding from the Hidden Leaf Village these past few years. First is in this country of waves where there is no local ninja village was established. Then they found Sujetsu, Karen, Girin, and a group of people. They went to this place where there was no bird shit, and together with Naruto, they completed their dream of building a village. Later, he went to the Land of Water and convinced Mizukage Meitarumi to form an alliance. He willingly summoned the ninja village of the mist and stationed them in the hidden village for many years. This everything heard is really like a heavenly night talk. But Naruto is good at creating miracles, and he can do it every time. But now, subduing the rock village, this kind of words that is even more out of the ordinary than the words that came out of Naruto's mouth, Hinata, although was a little surprised at first, still willingly chose to believe. Anyway, I have liked this man since I was little, and he has never let me down before. A trace of determination flashed in her eyes. Hinata nodded vigorously. Yes, Naruto-kun, I support you. No matter what decision you make, I agree. Naruto took Hinata into his arms with one hand, gently hugging her soft body. Now she looks like my wife, hee. The two of them caressed and comforted each other for a while. Hinata gently escaped from Naruto's embrace and said, Okay, Naruto-kun, the people of the Stone Village are still waiting. Don't let them wait too long. Quickly tell me, what is your plan? Why do you have to ask about that Deidara thing? Although he was still a bit unsatisfied, Naruto also knew that the important thing was politics, so he began to seriously explain to Hinata. Hinata, I will roughly explain this matter to you next, as well as my plan, so listen carefully. The girl in the room called Kuratsuchi. She is Inoki's granddaughter, and before Deidara plotted against a Wagakure and joined the Akatsuki organization, he actually had another identity. He is also Tsuchikage, Inoki's disciple, Kuratsuchi-sama. Hinata covered her mouth and said in surprise, You mean you want to bring Deidara and Kuratsuchi back? Place them by Tsuchikage's side and become our eyes? Naruto nodded. You are so smart, I just thought about it. Leaving Deidara in the hidden village is indeed a troublemaker, requiring him to deal with all kinds of trouble. For example, the ninja of Min village and the villagers were dissatisfied. Like Sand Village will find trouble. The great parliaments feared and ostracized Min village, because Min village took in a traitor ninja from the Akatsuki organization. The Akatsuki organization will think of 1,000 ways to once again infiltrate Min village, find Deidara to ask for the truth, or cause Min village to bring trouble and disaster. But just bringing Deidara back to a Wagakure would be like leaving all these problems for Inoki to solve. Moreover, it can also make the center with Naruto Deidara secretly convey intelligence to Naruto about the Stone Village. One last point, and the most important one, Deidara's relationship with Kuratsuchi, Inoki, Akachi, and other upper echelons of the Stone Village is extremely good. Right now, the only conflict between them is that Deidara has become a traitor ninja and has committed many evil deeds outside. Take Inoki's kind of selfish and somewhat self-indulgent personality. As long as Deidara can sincerely repent and sincerely admit his mistake to Inoki, he will definitely have a chance to be once again valued by a Wagakure. And Deidara's future succession to the Tsuchikage position is not impossible. In other words, Deidara inherited the Tsuchikage, and he was absolutely loyal to Naruto. Just like Naruto conquered the Stone Village. Ha 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 ha, I am really a genius. I can even get this kind of method, cough cough cough. Naruto threw his head back and laughed wildly, not thinking that the heavens were jealous of talented people, and choked on his saliva until he coughed. Hinata shook her head a little helplessly, raised her jade hand to help Naruto pat his back gently. After listening to Naruto's entire plan, Hinata felt that this was a very feasible plan, and also the plan with the lowest risk factor. Naruto-kun, I understand what you mean. You asked me Deidara's detention location, but Kuratsuchi and Akachi wanted to return to their teammates in Stone Village. You want Kuratsuchi and Deidara to randomly meet in a dungeon, and then become fellow disciples and senior brothers, right? Hinata's mind raced after hearing the key information. She immediately guessed Naruto's intentions. Only in this way, it would be logical for Kuratsuchi and Deidara to meet, and they would have the urge to save Deidara. Yes, my wife is so smart. I will reward you by fighting with me until dawn tonight. Naruto smiled and nodded, then hugged Hinata. Hinata was unusually agile, and with her head down, she crawled through Naruto's arm. As for the sentence, I will reward you with a decisive battle with me until dawn tonight. She directly chose to ignore it and quickly ran towards the outside of the building. I will go arrange this matter immediately. You first calm down those two people inside, and give me some time. After running out for a few steps, Hinata turned her head and said softly, Don't be in such a hurry. Without me, that guy like Deidara won't listen to you. Naruto hurriedly called Hinata back, immediately removing the Shadow Clone Hand seal. Kakebunsin no Jutsu, Sado Clone Technique. With a bang, a white mist exploded, and a figure exactly like Naruto appeared beside him. The Shadow Clone had just steadied its body when it immediately sensed the main body's thoughts and followed Hinata's back, running towards the tall building outside. In the reception room, Kuratsuchi and Akachi had been waiting impatiently for a long time. Naruto said those words from the beginning, as if he was intentionally making things difficult for people. Now to let them wait like this, Kuratsuchi's patience has long since run out. This is really too disgusting. This guy called Uzumaki Naruto. Does he really not put our Stone Village in his eyes at all? Kuratsuchi patted the sofa railing hard, stood up, and wanted to leave angrily. Akachi, let's go. Go back and tell this old man. Akachi immediately appeared much calmer. He quickly pulled Kuratsuchi's arm, shaking his head. Wait a minute, Kuratsuchi, let's listen to what that guy called Naruto has to say first. Alright then, let's see what kind of tricks he wants to play with. Kuratsuchi snorted softly and angrily sat back down. About 5 or 6 minutes later, Naruto slowly walked into the room and sat down across from the two people. This is really inconvenient. You two, we just discussed it, we can definitely reduce the amount of money needed. However, 1 million taels is still a bit too little. If not for million taels, do you think it's acceptable? Hearing that he could reduce the amount of money, Kuratsuchi's gloomy face softened slightly. Seeing that Naruto was still gaping, he wanted 4 million taels. She once again curled her small mouth. No, we only brought 1 million taels. Do you want it or not? Naruto was not angry and calmly said, It's fine, you guys can first hand over 1 million taels, then write me a 3 million taels IOU. This way you can collect all the people. Really? Kuratsuchi turned his head to look at Naruto, his face filled with doubt. She really wanted to see what kind of pattern Naruto was making. Because the hidden village uses a lot of money, recruiting wandering ninja to live in is not a new thing in the entire ninja world. Annual salary of 100,000 more than 2 silver coins. Recruited still, just some ordinary wandering ninja? What a joke. The 5 great ninja villages in the ninja world are considered the richest. Maybe the 5 great ninja villages gave out salaries to the ninja group, but they didn't give more than 200,000. The normal ninja group's normal salary is only a few thousand taels to a few tens of thousands of taels. Most of the income comes from the full remuneration drawn from the task. Maybe Naruto enlightening this hidden village is good, just recruiting a little incompetent Xiaorun to patrol the village, put up guards, and in a month earn more than 100,000. This is not pure big idiot. It's equivalent to giving away money. This situation caused many other ninjas from the other villages to want to betray the village and seek refuge in Min village. But after all, Min Thon is just a small village that has just started. Thinking about my future, it's better to stay in my own village and develop stably. Moreover, those ninjas' relatives and all kinds of relationships, if they really wanted to bring all the 7 great aunts and 8 great aunts to betray together, there was basically no chance. I'm afraid that before he even runs out of the village, he will be considered a rebel ninja and killed on the spot. Time passed years. Almost everyone in the ninja world knows that the leader of the hidden village is a rich fool. Anyone who wants to go there to register for the ninja selection can easily earn hundreds of thousands of taels a year. It was because of this that Kuratsuchi was very clear that Naruto was very rich. That's why Naruto was so angry when he tried to demand money like a lion. Isn't this clearly an intentional attempt to make things difficult for people? But now Naruto suddenly made a concession, reducing the price by 10 times, immediately making Kuratsuchi alert again, afraid that Naruto would bury some trap for her again. What a pity, she stared at Naruto's face, carefully examining it for a while. Except seeing Naruto's face looking at me with a smile, I couldn't see anything else. Kuratsuchi, I feel this kind of situation is acceptable. After all, he has made a huge concession. Akachi whispered a suggestion in Kuratsuchi's ear. 4 million taels is not a small amount, but compared to 4 million and 20 million, it is still bearable for Stone Village. Moreover, Naruto made such a big concession, and was even willing to give up the debt note. Isn't this already a huge step down? Kuratsuchi nodded. All right then, I am willing to write this promissory note. I believe that as a village leader, you will not easily go back on your word. That's natural. The things have been prepared for you long ago. Naruto took out a set of paper and pen from his chest and brought it in front of Kuratsuchi. Kuratsuchi reached out to take it, placed it on the tea table, and quickly began to write. In less than a moment, a 3 million tael promissory note was completely reproduced, signed with Kuratsuchi's name. Moreover, it also comes with a 1-month payment term, which shows Kuratsuchi's sincerity in dealing with this matter. Give! Kuratsuchi took out a thick stack of money from his chest, along with the IOU, and passed it towards Naruto. Naruto received the 2 objects, casually glanced at them. The smile on the corner of his mouth couldn't help but grow thicker. Brat, you still have to help me earn money after selling it. Your social experience is not enough. Naruto, so when can we take the Demon Bean and Tomoki and the others away? Kuratsuchi asked. Naruto waved his sleeve. No need to rush. Lunchtime is almost here. Otherwise, you guys should finish eating first, and then talk. Have fun at Minin Village in the afternoon. I will arrange for someone to bring them over. Kuratsuchi, though, was very interested in playing this game. But under his eyes, Naruto always gave him a very cunning feeling, as if he would change his mind in the next moment, just intentionally stalling for time. Therefore, Kuratsuchi resolutely refused. No, Naruto, we still have to rush back to the Stone Village to handle urgent matters. I hope you can quickly take us to see someone. At this time, Hinata should still be dealing with Deidara's matter over there. Naruto was about to continue to drag out the topic, but after a while, Hinata slowly walked out of the room. She silently winked at Naruto. Naruto immediately understood, knowing that the matter was done. Good, let's go. I'll take you to meet them right away. Naruto stood up and walked out of the room with Hinata. Kuratsuchi and Akachi glanced at each other, said nothing more, and quickly followed the 2. It hurts so much. You bastards. Do you want to beat me to death? Very quickly, Naruto and Hinata, leading Kuratsuchi and Akachi, reached the dungeon gate. Just after entering the dungeon, he heard a miserable and tragic sound coming from ahead, accompanied by crying and wailing. Hearing this voice sounds very familiar. It's like Deidara. Naruto was a bit dazed, turned his head and looked at Hinata beside him. Hinata blinked, her face filled with smiles. She smacked her lips and gestured for Naruto to continue moving forward. What the hell is this girl doing? Is she following the original plan? Naruto silently muttered in his heart.